In the vast multiverse of Marvel and DC Comics, a remarkable array of powerful, fearless, and downright ferocious female characters exists, ready to take on any challenge that comes their way. These women are more than just characters, they're legends in their own right, breaking barriers and demolishing stereotypes with every swing of their fists. From the Marvel Universe's Earth's Mightiest Heroes to the eclectic roster of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants or the DC Universe's infamous Suicide Squad and the iconic Justice League. These femme fatales have proven time and again that they definitely are a force to be reckoned with. While names like Iron Fist, Shang-Chi, or Batgirl may instantly come to mind when thinking of invulnerable hand-to-hand combatants, it's crucial to remember that some female characters are even deadlier and more experienced than their male counterparts. The misconception that women in comic books are somehow less violent or less capable of taking down their foes is far from the truth. As we dive into the annals of comic book history, one fact becomes abundantly clear that some of the most badass characters to ever grace the pages of comics are fierce women who are completely unhinged about life and would wreak havoc around the world to serve their purpose, without a second thought. In this exhilarating video, we will embark on a journey to discover the top 16 wild, rabid, and ferocious female characters who have etched their indomitable legacies into the tapestry of comic book lore. Brace yourself to be captivated by their untamed spirits and awe-inspiring feats as we delve into the electrifying world of these dynamic female characters. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Red Sonja. Red Sonja's tragic past turned her into the feral force of nature that she is today. She was born among the Favored, a tribe of bronze-haired, red-skinned people who were blessed with supernatural strength and combat skills by the Red Goddess Skatha. Red Sonja was destined to fulfill a dark prophecy, as the pale-skinned child prophesied to lead her people to their final battle and eventually pave their way towards everlasting glory. But her family dyed her pale skin to keep her secret concealed from the group, although eventually they were murdered by the Favored, who left Sonja behind to die in a cave. Later, she was adopted by her Kenyan family and peacefully lived with them until she was 17. During this period, the Red Goddess Skatha kept Sonja weak and powerless, until her life took a brutal turn when ruthless mercenaries killed her entire family and burnt their whole house to the ground while she endured a harrowing physical assault by the leader of the troop. Apparently, that was what the goddess Skatha wanted for her to go through, so she could use that rage and anguish to her benefit while transcending into a warrior. But her weakness could be stripped and replaced with her invulnerable combat potential only under a condition that she could not be loved by a man unless defeated in fair combat. This traumatic past fueled Red Sonja's unrelenting rage, transforming her into an unmatched warrior. Throughout her adventures, she displayed a relentless and fierce nature. Her encounters with Conan the Barbarian and her escapades against powerful sorcerers like Cullen Gath showcased her tenacity. Red Sonja was not only a skilled swordswoman, but also a woman unafraid to face any challenge head-on, unleashing her wild and untamed spirit in battles that tested her mettle time and again. Throughout her run, we see Sonja's grotesque take on every situation, violently killing anyone who tries to hold her down. This woman's resilience serves as the crucible that forges her into one of the most ferocious female characters in the world of comic books. X-23 Laura Kinney. Laura Kinney, known as X-23, emerged as a living weapon, a product of the Sinister Facility's unholy experiments aiming to replicate Wolverine's abilities. Geneticist Sarah Kinney, defying her superiors, combined her own DNA with Wolverine's, birthing X-23, a mutant born into a world of cruelty. From the moment she drew breath, X-23 was subjected to relentless torment, brutalized by her trainer, Kimura, within the facility's cold confines. Her only glimpse of tenderness came from Kinney, who sacrificed her own life to secure X-23's escape. recognizing her as her own daughter Laura, with a burning desire to end the abominable weapons program. X-23 initially sought Wolverine's life but found an unexpected ally instead. Wolverine saw her as a victim and extended his hand in assistance, leading her to the Xavier Institute. Since then, X-23 has evolved into a fierce and respected figure within the mutant community. She journeyed from X-Men trainee to a member of the covert X-Force, a student at Avengers Academy, and a valued member of multiple X-Men teams. Adopting the name Wolverine in honor of her father, she formed an unbreakable bond with her newfound sister Gabby. Her journey was marked by the distortion of her perception of life, molded by years of conditioning to obey without question. Silent and lethal, she developed a fixation on Wolverine, and later a confusing crush on Hellion, struggling to comprehend emotions due to her lack of any emotional upbringing. X-23's evolution from a weapon of destruction to a multifaceted character embodies her feral nature, shaped by a lifetime of brutality and transformation into a formidable force within the Marvel Universe. Throughout her journey, she mercilessly killed many innocents at the facility's command. From a very tender age, but later when she sought herself out, Laura went back to get her sweet revenge in the most merciless way possible. Wild Thing. Marvel. In the alternate timeline of Earth 982, Rena Logan, known as Wild Thing, emerged as a second-gen superhero figure who was the daughter of Wolverine and Elektra. Raised by her powerful parents, she received training from a young age, honing her combat skills and even learning to manifest psychic claws from her godmother, Betsy Braddock. With an impulsive and battle-hungry nature, she embodied the wild and ferocious aspects of her mutant heritage. While Rena exuded confidence in combat, she grappled with typical teenage shyness in her social life. However, donning her Wild Thing persona and mask allowed her to assert herself more boldly, carrying her action togs in her backpack at all times. Eager for the next heroic opportunity, her admiration for her parents knew no bounds, especially her bond with her father Wolverine, who understood and shared her wild inclinations. They bonded during their nighttime runs in Central Park, and she even adopted her father's habit of calling her opponents Bub. Despite her deep respect and love for her parents, Rena was determined to carve her own path as a superheroine, avoiding the shadow of their formidable legacies. She refused membership in the X-People, initially trying to please her father but ultimately yearning to establish her unique identity. Her thrill-seeking and hedonistic tendencies have been channeled into a driving force for achieving her goals, making her a dynamic and powerful hero in the MC2 universe. Endowed with the grace of her assassin mother and the tenacity of her father's enhanced senses and healing factor, Rena wielded Psychic Say, capable of inflicting telepathic anguish on her foes. Her martial arts training from both parents from an early age shaped her into a fierce and ferocious heroine. Even though she inherited her father's berserk rage, which probably served her nature in her moniker as the Wild Thing, Rena truly stands out as a symbol of untamed heroism. Harley Quinn. Harleen Quinzel. Harley Quinn, the notorious jester of chaos in the DC Universe, is undeniably one of the wildest characters to grace the pages of comics. Her journey into madness began with a seemingly innocent internship at Arkham Asylum, until her ill-fated encounter with the Joker forever altered her life. Despite warnings about the darkness that shrouded Arkham's inmates, Harleen's inexperience and fascination with the Joker's charm pulled her deeper into the abyss. Their therapy sessions became a twisted dance, with the Joker manipulating her fragile mind with tales of tormented past, which led her to fall helplessly in love with the man behind the clown. One night, driven by reckless determination, she freed the Joker from his captors and embraced her new identity as Harley Quinn. Their tumultuous relationship led to a life of crime, and Harley proved to be a force not to be underestimated. She wasn't just a sidekick, she was a fiery and unpredictable partner, adding chaos to their criminal escapades. Harley's transformation was further solidified when she developed an irrational hatred for Batman, seeing him as a true villain in the DC animated universe. In her DC Comics origin story, she descended into madness after a frenzied attempt to murder her supervisor who discovered her feelings for the Joker. The climax of her transformation occurred at the Ace Chemical Processing Plant, where the Joker pushed her into a chemical vat, Emerging with the white skin and unhinged sanity, Harley Quinn was born, leaving Dr. Harleen Quinzel far behind. While the origins of her peculiar mental state before meeting the Joker remain a mystery, hints of pre-existing issues linger back to her childhood. It was her encounter with the Joker that unleashed her wild and chaotic side, making her a force to be reckoned with in Gotham's dark and twisted world. Big Barda. Big Barda, the new god from Apocalypse, possesses a multifaceted character shaped by her complex backstory and journey from a brutal upbringing to a hero on Earth. Trained under Granny Goodness on the oppressive planet Apocalypse, Barda initially embraced her role as a warrior leading the female Fury Battalion. However, the cruelty and oppression of Apocalypse began to contradict her personal values. Barda's life took a profound turn when she fell in love with Scott Free, Darkseid's adopted son, who introduced her to a different way of life. Their connection led to her helping Scott escape to Earth, but she chose to stay on Apocalypse initially, acknowledging her lingering attachment to her home planet. After her eventual arrival on Earth, Barda embraced the freedom and pleasures of her new life, appreciating the little things that were forbidden on Apocalypse. Her relationship with Scott and the friendships they built provided her with a sense of fulfillment she had never experienced before. Barda's character is not only defined by her physical prowess, but also by her resilience and ability to make choices on her own terms. She displayed tremendous courage by leaving Apocalypse when she was genuinely ready, not before. While she relished her newfound happiness, Barda remained a fierce warrior, aiding the Justice League when her strength was needed. Her training under Granny Goodness made her a fierce combatant, yet she approached battles with composure and tactical thinking, rarely faltering. One remarkable aspect of Barda's character is her commitment to maintaining her mental well-being. Her ruthlessness, seen in the Mr. Miracle series, showcased the depths of her character. Barda's violent outbursts, especially when confronting her old tormentor, revealed her ferocity and determination to protect herself and those she loved. Her complex character journey, from a brutal upbringing to a hero who values love and freedom, makes her a truly remarkable and multidimensional character in the DC universe. Witchblade, Sarah Pazzini. Born in 1970 of Italian descent, Sarah Pazzini initially aspired to be a dedicated and effective cop. Her life took a dramatic turn when she and her partner Michael Yee were gravely wounded during an undercover operation at the Rialto Theater. It was at this moment that the enigmatic Witchblade chose her as its next bearer, saving her life and altering her destiny forever. The Witchblade, a potent and ancient weapon, granted Sarah remarkable powers, thrusting her into a world filled with unimaginable creatures and supernatural challenges. Despite her desire for a simpler life as an NYPD detective, Sarah believed that she could use the Witchblade's power for the greater good. Throughout her journey, Sarah encountered allies like the Magdalena, Lara Croft, and Jackie Estacado, forming complex relationships in the process. She even crossed paths with the likes of Wolverine in memorable crossovers. Sarah's character is defined by her strength, resilience, and determination. She battled not only supernatural forces, but also her own inner struggles as she sought to control the Witchblade's power and understand its mysterious nature. The narrative took intriguing turns as Sarah faced personal challenges, including an unexpected pregnancy that connected her to Jackie Estacado and their child, Hope. Adding more depth to her character, a significant conflict arose when Sarah came under the control of the darkness portion of the Witchblade, leading to a clash with Danielle Baptiste, the Witchblade's next chosen bearer. This conflict showcased Sarah's fierce determination and her struggle to maintain control over the powerful entity. Sarah Pazzini is a character of unwavering strength, and her journey as a Witchblade bearer continues to captivate readers with its wild, rabid, and ferocious elements, as she grapples with supernatural forces, personal dilemmas, and the responsibilities of wielding such immense power. Vampirella. Vampirella's origin is a tale of survival and adaptation from the dying world of Draculon, a planet inhabited by a vampiric race. the vampiri, who relied on blood as their life source. It was a world where blood flowed in rivers, but a catastrophic drought caused by the twin suns threatened their existence. This harsh environment forced Vampirella and her people to evolve unique abilities, including the power to transform into bats, superhuman strength, and the capability to sprout wings for flight. The pivotal moment in Vampirella's life occurred when a spaceship from Earth crash-landed on Draculon. In a desperate bid to save her race, she piloted the ship back to Earth, leaving her home world behind. Upon arriving on Earth, she faced challenges and dangers, including a plane crash that left her seriously injured. To survive, Vampirella had to resort to drinking the blood of the crash victims. Her journey on Earth led her to encounter the Cult of Chaos, who initially aided her but revealed sinister intentions. Vampirella's fierce nature emerged as she thwarted their evil plans, setting her on a path to fight against the forces of chaos. Over time, Vampirella's character evolved from a bloodthirsty vampire to a good vampire, dedicated to ridding the world of evil vampires and supernatural threats. Her origin story underwent multiple revisions, revealing her true lineage as the daughter of Lilith, a figure from ancient Jewish lore. Vampirella's enduring ferocity and resilience in the face of adversity have made her a compelling character in the world of comics, as she continues her mission to protect humanity from the forces of darkness while navigating her own complex origins and identity. Mystique, Raven Darkholme. Mystique, aka Raven Darkholme, stands as one of Marvel's most formidable shapeshifters, not for sadistic pleasure in inflicting pain, but for her ruthless determination to eliminate anything obstructing her path. Her brutality emerges from her unwavering readiness to eliminate obstacles. Raven Darkholme's transformation into the shape-shifting mutant known as Mystique led her into an alliance with the mutant clairvoyant Irene Adler, who adopted the name Destiny. Together, they grappled with deciphering cryptic passages regarding the future of mutants. Their efforts to control Destiny often ended in frustration, driving Mystique toward extremist actions to achieve her goals. Mystique's involvement in the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants aimed to assassinate Senator Robert Kelly, a staunch anti-mutant politician. This endeavor was thwarted by the X-Men, revealing her readiness for deadly confrontation. Mystique's skill in infiltration allowed her to infiltrate various mutant-related organizations, from leading Freedom Force to joining X-Factor, the Marauders, and even the X-Men. However, the loss of Destiny had a profound impact on her life, and her subsequent actions were marked by a determination to shape the future of mutant kind. She played pivotal roles in molding her foster daughter, Rogue, into a mutant superhero, eliminating formidable adversaries like Mr. Sinister and establishing a mutant-dominated criminal empire in Madripoor. Mystique's story is one of relentless ambition, adaptability, and a willingness to do whatever it takes to shape the destiny of mutant kind, often driving her to be absolutely unhinged and ruthless in her approach. Kirika, child of Wolverine and Mariko. In the Age of Apocalypse, Kirika Yashida stands out as the daughter of the Wolverine and Mariko Yashida, a character deeply embedded in the X-Men lore. Initially unknown to Logan, Kirika's existence came to light when the X-Men, led by Magneto, discovered her held captive by the genetic manipulator, Mr. Sinister. Her bone claws and tracking abilities hinted at her connection to Logan, though her true identity remained shrouded in uncertainty. Undergoing experiments, Kirika's powers were further enhanced when Magneto bonded adamantium to her claws, making her a frightening opponent with expert tracking abilities. Her mission to bring Logan back to the X-Men was a pivotal moment in her character development, showcasing her determination and strength. A poignant encounter occurred when the Wolverine from the mainstream Marvel Universe crossed into the Age of Apocalypse reality and met Kirika. Their brief interaction left a lasting impact, with Wolverine recognizing her indomitable spirit and strength. Tragically, Kirika met her demise at the hands of her own corrupted and evil father, Weapon X, of her own universe, leaving behind a poignant legacy in a universe defined by chaos and survival. Catwoman, Selina Kyle. Catwoman's complex history in the DC Comics universe exemplifies a wild, unpredictable, and multifaceted persona that has evolved over the years. Initially introduced as a master thief and Batman's adversary, Selina Kyle's character trajectory is marked by a fascinating transformation from supervillain to anti-heroine. Her early comic appearances positioned her as a criminal, engaging in activities like thieving and breaking and entering. However, unlike many of Batman's ruthless adversaries, she was never portrayed as a villain with murderous intentions. This unique moral code contributed to her standing as a character who could not be entirely categorized as a villain, even though she was very manipulative on various occasions. The dynamic between Batman and Catwoman is a cornerstone of her character's appeal. Their complex love-hate relationship has been explored in various adaptations, from comics to animated series and movies. Throughout her comic book history, Catwoman's origin story has undergone several revisions and reinterpretations. Her origins have been shrouded in mystery, with different versions of her past emerging over time. One crucial turning point occurred in the Batman Year One storyline, introducing a cat-loving prostitute who transformed into a cat burglar, inspired by Batman's actions. This version of Selina Kyle reflected her ability to evolve and adapt to her circumstances, leaving behind her ruthless thieving persona. Judge Anderson. Cassandra Anderson. Judge Cassandra Anderson, a member of Mega City 1's PSI division, possesses psychic abilities that set her apart in the dystopian world. Her unique powers include sensing impending danger, glimpsing into the near future, and telepathy, allowing her to read minds and launch mental assaults. Anderson's journey into the world of judges and psychics began when her extraordinary abilities were recognized as a child, leading her to the Academy of Law. Notably, Anderson played a crucial role in thwarting the nefarious plans of Judge Death and the Dark Judges, the undead entities from another dimension who aimed to annihilate all life. Despite being manipulated into aiding them, Anderson's resourcefulness helped foil their deadly schemes. Throughout her career in the PSI division, Anderson has become a respected figure, valued for her powers and her ability to cooperate effectively with the likes of Judge Dredd. Unlike Dredd's stern demeanor, Anderson possesses a sense of humor and forms personal connections with her fellow judges. However, she has grown critical of Mega City 1's judicial system flaws, but remains too valuable to lose. Anderson has faced personal crisis, including the resurfacing of suppressed memories of an abusive father. These memories stirred her resentment toward the division for tampering with her mind to hide the trauma. Despite these internal struggles, she continues to serve the city with unwavering determination. Her journey took a different turn when she abandoned her role as a judge, realizing the futility of violence and control to achieve temporal goals during an encounter with her nemesis Orlok and an alien race on Mars. However, she later returned to her duties and remained a respected veteran. Even as she battled the limitations of her aging body, knowing that her inevitable end was approaching, Cassandra Anderson's wild, rabid, and ferocious commitment to justice in a harsh world makes her a compelling and enduring character. Lady Deathstrike. Yuriko Oyama, known as the fearsome samurai warrior Lady Deathstrike, possesses a chilling origin story intertwined with vengeance, obsession, and transformation. Her tale began with her insane father, Lord Darkwind, a Japanese crime lord whose twisted genius allowed him to develop a process to bond bones with unbreakable metal known as adamantium. Oyama's life took a dark turn as she ended her father's reign of abuse and madness by killing him. Obsessed with upholding her family's legacy and seeking retribution, she fixated on the mutant Wolverine, who had undergone an unauthorized adamantium enhancement that tarnished her honor. Driven by an unquenchable hatred, she made a fateful decision to forsake her humanity and strike a sinister deal with the enigmatic witch known as Spiral. This unholy pact transformed her into Lady Deathstrike, a relentless hunter with a self-repairing machine body and lethal adamantium claws. Lady Deathstrike's relentless vendetta against Wolverine led her to form alliances with nefarious individuals such as Donald Pierce and his band of Reavers. She also aligned herself with the mutant-hating extremist Reverend William Stryker. These associations frequently brought her into direct conflict with the X-Men, the mutant group to which Wolverine belonged. In more recent times, Lady Deathstrike became the target of the rebranded Weapon X project, which sought to control augmented subjects as living weapons. Rescued by a group of fellow victims, she joined forces with them, adopting the name Weapon X for their team. Their adventures eventually led to the dissolution of the group following the absence of their leader, Sabretooth. Overall, Lady Deathstrike's character embodies wild ferocity, driven by an unrelenting pursuit of vengeance and obsession with her nemesis, Wolverine. Dr. Kitty Faulkner, aka Rampage. Kitty Faulkner, a brilliant scientist from Metropolis, embarked on an energy conservation project alongside her older colleague, Dr. Tom Moyers. Their groundbreaking work centered around the creation of the Bioenergy Actualizer, a remarkable device designed to harness energy from photosynthetic algae. This innovation aimed to provide a sustainable and pollution-free energy source for the world. Kitty's enthusiasm for the project was palpable, and she eagerly showcased the potential of the Bioenergy Actualizer to Lois Lane during an exclusive tour of their laboratory. However, tension simmered as Dr. Moyers, fueled by jealousy, sought to undermine Kitty's claims about the device's safety. A catastrophic event unfolded when Moyers tampered with the power regulator, triggering an explosion that engulfed the laboratory. The blast exposed Kitty to a torrent of radiation, transforming her into the formidable 8-foot-tall creature known as Rampage. Superman, alerted by the explosion's roar, swiftly arrived at the scene, switching from his Clark Kent persona. He battled the rampaging Rampage, struggling against her formidable strength. As her conflict raged on, the replication process initiated by the Bioenergy Actualizer affected both Rampage and Superman, granting her increased power. Realizing that the solar radiation fueling his abilities dampened Rampage's strength, Superman absorbed radiation from her to neutralize her threat. Ultimately, he succeeded in reverting Kitty Faulkner to her human form. Over time, Kitty gained control over her transformation into Rampage, learning to harness her newfound powers. She chose to use her scientific expertise for good, pursuing a career at STAR Labs, and rarely assuming her alter ego, Rampage. Her journey from a tragic accident to mastering her abilities demonstrates her resilience and determination. Honey Badger, clone of Laura Kinney. This clone of Laura Kinney originated from Alchemax Genetics as part of a project overseen by Robert Chandler, aimed at creating clones of Wolverine. These clones, including Gabby, were trained to serve as bodyguards for humanitarian missions and personnel. However, their lives were marred by abuse from their handlers, particularly Captain Mooney. Even if the elder sisters did their best to shield Gabby from the worst of this mistreatment. Unique among her sisters, Gabby possessed nanites implanted in her body, rendering her incapable of feeling pain even though it was slowly killing her. After 6 of her sisters perished during missions or due to the nanites, Gabby, along with Zelda, Bellona, and X-23 3-Par, managed to escape, thanks in part to assistance from Kimura, their former tormentor. Gabby's innocence and relatively sheltered upbringing within Alchemax Genetics set her apart from her sisters, as affirmed by Dr. Strange. This innocence would later contribute to her growing discomfort with her sister's extreme actions, leading her to warn Wolverine about their assassination attempt in Paris. Further demonstrating her resolve, Gabby actively participated in Laura's plan to dismantle Alchemax Genetics, willingly infiltrating their secret bunker. She faced the moral dilemma of deciding her own future, showing that she was not easily swayed by external pressures. Even in the face of a confrontation with an alternate future Logan, who questioned her intentions, Gabby stood her ground and asserted her commitment to her own path. Her resilience shone through when she survived a near-fatal attack by Logan, showcasing her own version of the tenacity and ferocity that runs in her family. Over time, she gained worldly experience alongside Laura and as a student of the New Mutants, maturing into someone who empathized with and protected her friends. She formed the Lost Club and became their voice of reason, navigating Krakoan society and mutant nature together. Despite her growth, she maintained her playful and mischievous side, endearing her to those around her. Wolverina aka Logana emerges simply as the barman's daughter at Bud Suds. Her true origin remained a mystery until it was revealed at a New Year's party by Daredevil, prompted by Death and Uatu, the Watcher. She was born in 1976 to Bud, the proprietor of Bud Suds, and his wife, who left him on December 31st of the same year, taking their baby daughter with her. Despite Bud's longing to reunite with his daughter, he remained unaware of her whereabouts, known only to almost omniscient beings like Uatu. In 1990, during Earth 89923's comic book boom, Wolverina's entrance into the Marvel Universe took an unexpected turn. Editor Terry Kavanagh initially encouraged Wolverine to make guest appearances in other series, but the overwhelmed Wolverine decided to take a day off. In response, Tom DeFalco, the editor-in-chief, introduced Logana as Wolverina, a long-lost cousin of Wolverine, thus paving an unconventional initiation in the Marvel Universe. Wolverina's arrival coincided with the pup's popularity among superhumans, and she formed an unlikely partnership with Ivory, a powerless pseudo-superheroine. Often her brash and fearless demeanor, resembling that of her cousin Wolverine, led to humorous and chaotic adventures, including encounters with the land shark and negative Four-Bush Man. In her distinctive beach episode, Wolverina's self-esteem issues clashed with her heroic instincts when facing the land shark, leading to a hilarious and unconventional battle. It should be noted that this character is the first ever female counterpart of Wolverine and is known to share his ferocious spirit.
The reason I was afraid to go to school as a child.
Marvelous verdict. By now, we can all agree that if given the opportunity, women can really turn the tide on the most grotesque or complicated situations, throwing their opponents completely off guard with their ferocity, ruthlessness, and unhinged violence. Some instances would even put the mightiest men and their wits to shame. In conclusion, these women are definitely siding with the unhinged, crazy crew within the comic realm and are definitely not to be messed with. Now that we have come to the very end of this video, which is your favorite feral comic character? Let us know in the comment box below.